So I learned through like School of Hard Knocks on so many different fronts, how to like handle things like when you make a mistake, how to handle it, with grace, how to take care of yourself, because you're like beating yourself up, you're totally stressed out, you're pulling all-nighters, just trying to make it work, trying to keep the wheels on the bus because, dude, this band is blowing the fuck up, and you don't want to be the person who's like holding them back or holding the fans back, right? You want, to like be able to support them. And then leading all the way up to, I had the opportunity to run everything for Bon Jovi for 3 world tours at the height of, Bon Jovi's success, playing stadiums all over the world, and, running like, all their VIP programs, all their ticketing programs, fan club, e-commerce, on a global basis. What does it mean to do an arena show in Barcelona? What does it mean to do an arena show in Australia? How do you deal with promoters in Germany, or Italy? What does it mean to do a show in Latin America? Oh, gosh, let's talk about Japan. How do you deal with language challenges and localization and currencies and, the promoters in all these different regions and their needs, their expectations? How do you deal with like, entrance requirements? Like, is the show 21 and up? What about alcohol? What about like so many different ADA requirements? Like, how do you handle someone who is a fan who's in a wheelchair and they want to be able to go to the show and have a great experience too? And how do you make sure you're not putting them behind some fucking column, so they don't get screwed because of the shape of the building? How do you deal with the fact that every building is different geometry? Like so much shit where you're like, holy crap, like no one thinks about this stuff unless you're like in the weeds and have the experience. And all of that was just like learn as you go. So those are a lot of the experiences that I've had over the course of time. Those experiences were foundational for me in terms of, learning how to build things at scale and do things that are going to make like a meaningful impact out there in the world.
Right. I'm interested in how you got on the rocket ship. Is this a product of right time, right place? You sticking your neck out there? Like what do you attribute that?
Yeah, combination. So right place, right time. Picked a band. I mean, how many bands are there? Cajillion. There's unlimited bands, right? Picking the right band, having taste. Like I'll give myself some credit and say like, hearing One Step Closer for the first time, or any of those original songs, and like feeling something and letting myself like believe in something, even though it was new, and not forgetting what that feels like to like, okay, this is new. And the band could end up as nothing, but it also could become like one of the biggest bands in the world. Right. Like, and just, allowing myself to be a part of that and feel that. But then also, absolutely sticking myself out there, or sticking my neck out there. Like I cold called them,
I was going to say, what did that look like?
Yeah,
like
I did
an email, a call,
domain, and they had a real number registered. They didn't have any domain privacy settings, and I just called the number. And Chester's brother answered the phone, and I cold pitched him, and then they invited me like to a show, and then I got to meet Mike and the band and had the opportunity to go from there. So
that's awesome.
That's like absolutely sticking my neck out there, but it's totally right place, right time. And so it's, combination, and then just like some hustle, like I did a bunch of spec work, because like I wanted to show them that like I actually could do the job.